The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hi, welcome everyone to this week's version of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and this week and every week we give you the glorious happenings from around our communities, straight from the mouths of our wonderful mayors and supervisors. Today we'll be starting off with Eileen Hansen from the village of Scottsville. Eileen, how are we doing in Scottsville?
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, we're doing fine. I've been dealing with a case of laryngitis this week, so it has obviously been a very quiet week for me, no pun intended. So my comments will be short and sweet, concentrating on a couple of things. First of all, congratulations to the Wheatland Tri-Lite class of 2021 on their graduation this weekend. They've made it through another pandemic school year and are moving on to new endeavors. Now, I'm proud to be a graduate of Wheatland Tri-Lite myself and a teacher of 30 plus years at the T.J. Connor School. So I wish all of you the best in the future and enjoy your summer. I want to talk about the American Rescue Plan Act today and give you some updates on what that means for Scottsville. This act will distribute coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds to municipalities, and it will be based on our population. We have not yet received confirmation of the amount that will be allocated to Scottsville, but it's my understanding that we will be receiving the funds this July. The funds will be distributed in two payments, one this year and the other half a year from this time. We are a non-entitlement unit, which means our population is under 50,000. And therefore, we will not receive our money, our funds, directly from the Department of the Treasury. We will receive our funds through the state. And the state is required to give these funds to the municipalities. They can't hold any of it back. And the funds, I believe, I think I got the date right, is used by the end of December 2026. Funds may not be used to offset our budget, that is to lower taxes. The village must either decline or accept the funds. And of course, if we want to accept the funds, we have to fill out paperwork. So I've filled out the paperwork. It's all filled out. It's been sent in requesting the funds from the state. We can use the funding in several ways. We can support public health expenditures, such as the PPE equipment we use, anything along those lines. We can address negative economic impacts caused by the public health emergency. We can replace lost public sector revenues. So any monies that we've lost in revenues because of the pandemic, we can replace those monies with this funding. We can provide premium pay for essential workers. We can invest in water, sewer, sewer and broadband infrastructure. And one of my questions was whether we could use some of these funds for communication upgrades in case of emergencies. My concern during all this was getting information out to people, especially seniors and people who didn't use their computer or anything like that. How could we make sure that they got all the necessary information that they needed during the emergency? And my understanding is that this falls within the parameters of what we can do. We have broad flexibility to decide how best to use these funds to meet the needs of our community. And I think this might be one of our priorities as we look at this money. But anyway, I'll keep you updated as we continue to receive more information. And as I said, while I have a voice, I'm going to make this short and sweet, and that's where I'm going to stop. Have a good weekend, everybody, and a good week.
All right. Thanks, Eileen. So, Jerry, you got something in your mouth, so I'll talk until you swallow, and then we'll move directly over to you so you can tell us what's happening in I want to use an R word with Rush, but I can't think of one, so I'll just turn it over to you.
Well, I will help you because it is the best kept secret in Western New York, and we're going to keep it that way. I was wondering about that on Monday because the wind that came through here and did a lot of damage was just, I've not seen as much in the last few years. It was pretty treacherous. And we had a lot of wires down, telephone, light poles, whatever you want to call them, were down. And a lot of tree limbs. We've had several people call and ask if we're going to have an additional brush pickup. And unfortunately, we aren't going to have that. I talked to the highway superintendent yesterday, and he went around and did an analysis of the damage. And he felt that with a couple of exceptions, there's not enough to send crews out to pick up brush. So that's where we are today. I was especially happy to see that our governor lifted all restrictions for New York State. Apparently, the only restrictions still in place are those of a federal nature. And that means that we will be returning to in-person board meetings for town board, planning board, zoning board, conservation board. And we had our first meeting Wednesday night, and we had one attendee, and we had a lot of people on remote video, or not video, but Zoom. So I wonder if that's going to be the wave of the future, where people want to sit home and participate via Zoom. That's fine with me. We intended to make that accommodation for people who maybe don't want to come out during inclement weather, and you know, the comfort of their home, the warmth of their home is nice to be able to stay there and participate with your town officials via Zoom. So that's where we are with that. The COVID numbers in Rush have all but gone away, which makes me very happy being a COVID alumni. And we are, as I stated last week, we are starting our budget process, and hopefully we don't discover any necessary expenses that will cause us to go against our previous commitment to keep taxes flat. But you never know till you get into the process. And my method is going to be let the department heads develop their budgets, and then the board will take a look at them and see what needs to be there and what doesn't need to be there. And hopefully everybody will come out a winner in that process. So I'll leave you with that and hope that this gray sky turns blue for the weekend. And thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you, Jerry. Mike, Lima, what's going on there?
Hello, Chris. Thanks for hosting us again. There are only 34 days until the Crossroads Festival. The townwide parade will be 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 28th. And fundraiser concerts will be going on Thursday, the 29th in the evening. Trist will be playing that night at the East Tent at 7:30. And they are sponsored by Tough Trucks out of Rush. There will be a donation bucket with encouraged donations at that one because Tough Trucks did actually purchase the band. Call Johnny B's for details at 582 Pork. Vanessa Collier and the Nighthawks will be at the West Tent at 7 p.m. Tickets are available from Fanatics at 624-2080. And remember, our fundraising does partially go to support Mercy Flight Central and Teresa House Hospice. It is confirmed that there will be an 80s costume contest Friday the 30th while the M80s are playing on the East Stage. A full list of performers will be at limafest.org under the schedule tab. And of course, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows are all free, including at the American Hotel. Wednesday, the 23rd, the Livingston County Board of Supervisors adopted its strategic plan for 21-22. That strategic plan is available on the Livingston County website for you to view and download and comment on. Jason Molino has taken his position as the Executive Director of the Livingston County Water and Sewer Authority. I accepted an appointment to the Livingston County Water and Sewer Authority Board of Directors earlier this month. So Jason and I attended our first board meeting together last week. It is time to rehab Livingston County Road 62. This is Bronson Hill Road, which connects 5 and 20 down to East Lake Road in Livonia, one of the most heavily traveled roads, county roads in Livingston County. Ramsey Constructors was awarded the contract with a bid of $3,111,958, and the construction should be starting within a few weeks. Expect delays. Lastly, the Board of Supervisors recognized both Livonia Supervisor Eric Gott and Mount Morris Supervisor Chuck DePasquale for 15 years of service to Livingston County. July 4th is coming. Hope to see everybody at Mark Tubbs Park. And that's all I have, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Anybody think of anything else before we go? Seeing none, want to again echo what Eileen said. Wish all our graduates a very happy graduation that occurred this weekend and will be occurring again in the future, I'm sure, for many of them. So thank you again for watching this week's version of the Mayors and Supervisors Report. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you, Chris.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.